Welcome to the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz. We cover what's happening in our local area when it comes to sports. We'll discuss last night's high school football games. Then we take a deep dive into today's upcoming college football games. And now it's the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz with Randy and Clifford.
Top of the morning and happy Halloween.
Yeah, well, it's fall, y'all.
That's right. Glad you could join us this morning. We'll be here for the next hour,
Yes,
bringing
we
you the latest in regional, high school, college, and pro sports, probably focusing mostly on football because it is football season. The NBA is underway. The World Series got underway last night in Toronto. The Dodgers, I think it was kind of a landslide. They ran away with that one, double digits with their run total. Back to football. On the UWF campus today, they went 7-0. They are 7-0. They beat Livingston, North Alabama, last week to go 7-0.
Yeah.
And that campus will be buzzing today at UWF, Penn Air Field, 2 o'clock. The kick for the Argos, and Will Kennedy will have that call for you on the radio.
We love to see our local teams doing well.
Yeah, this campus is buzzing too, but it's for the Corporate Cup. We're here on campus at Pensacola State College at WSRE, and thank you to all our team here. We couldn't do this without all of them. And Blab as well, that's helping us out, Blab TV, WPAN. But back to football, and we talked about the Argos. Well, last night, Virginia Tech, there was an ACC game, right? And
AAC.
No, it was ACC.
Oh, that's right,
We'll
it was
talk
ACC.
about the AAC.
Okay.
It is confusing when you're learning these acronyms. The Atlantic Coast Conference, and that was Virginia Tech with a double overtime win over the Cal Berkeley Bears.
Yeah.
So pretty cool stuff. What have we got on the slate for today?
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot happening, especially as we wrap up with high school football. A lot of unbelievable games last night. We'll break those down. And Coach Mark,
it was the end of
Hollywood's on
district
this.
play. There may be one more game on Halloween night for some teams, but it was the end of district play. So yeah,
Right.
Mark Cobley will help us break all that down.
Yeah, we'll break all that down for you. We'll take a deep dive into some of the stuff going on in college football, the big games and some games that some matchups. And also some games that I think will maybe be a little risky for some teams.
Well, I mean, we had, 9 upsets or 9 teams in the top 25 that lost last week. We only have 3 matchups of ranked
Undefeated.
teams. Of ranked teams. There's
Ranked
only
teams,
3
yeah.
games. But, I mean, it's October, so no telling what's going to happen today. So we'll break those down, and then we'll bring Coach Mark back on to talk about the playoff scenarios in high school football. And then we'll go through our pick 'em of the top 25 or get what we can get through. So,
That's right.
don't forget the phone number to call in is 850-484-1223. That's 484-1223. I want to thank Damien's Frozen Lemonade at the drop-in, as well as Amber Ellis at the Hive.
I was going to say, man, your hair looks tight this morning.
Man, they used to call me Haystack as a kid, and I cut it with scissors 3 times too many. And I'm grateful it's behaving itself. Anyway, thanks, Amber. And hey, we'll be right back. We'll talk about high school sports. We'll bring on Mark, and we'll have highlights from 3 big games and talk about more right here on the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz.
Yep.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Who Works Sports.
My name is Gary Parker. I served as a Cavalry Scout and a military policeman in the United States Army for 20 years. When I was a Cavalry Scout, we had a young lieutenant that came in, great guy, but he moved on, got promoted to lieutenant colonel, went on to Afghanistan, and I was able to keep in contact. And I wake up one morning, go on social media, and there's that post you don't want to see. For whatever reason, he took his own life. Nobody knows why he did it. And if there's something that we could have done to prevent it from happening, safe gun storage can prevent gun suicide because it's that added step to get to your firearm that might just give somebody a moment of reflection on what they're doing. As a veteran, we need to be ambassadors to people that don't have the knowledge that we have. Anytime you're not storing a weapon safely, you're putting yourself and your community at risk. Service never stops.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Damien's Frozen Lemonade and Damien's Ice Cream. Sandwiches in Pensacola at the corner of Balin and Cervantes at the drop-in.
Welcome back to the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz right here live on your electric television this morning, and we're joined by Coach Mark Hobley this morning. We're going to break down the high school scores and what's going on in high school sports, and especially high school football. Welcome in, Coach.
Well, thank you very much, Randy.
Good to see you.
Good to
Coach
see you.
Mark?
Yes, good to see you.
Oh, wait, you are wearing the ring this week. Hold that up. Hey, there you go.
Now tell us what that represents.
Yeah.
Well, 2009, Pensacola High School, 3A state champs, Coach Bennett. Well, we had a 14-1 year, lost the first ball game and got it going. But
that was to Pine Forest, and that was a low-scoring game, like 6-3 or something.
6-3, and got things going. So we're looking to have some teams around here to get something going. So I think we got some real good possibilities.
Get it going like PHS got it going in Orlando in that third
sir.
quarter.
Yes, sir.
They got the running back. Rock was running it. So
Yes, sir.
It was a good time. It was good to be there.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. So we got 3 games with highlights for today. We're going to start with Milton at Niceville.
Wow.
And wow, what a game. We knew that was going to be, right?
I mean, that was just right out of the gate. Niceville they just had put their foot on the gas and just didn't let up the entire game.
Milton was in it. They were running with them. You know, the interception by David DeBoyo for Milton was a big difference in the game. That led to a touchdown. Of course, David DeBoyo is headed to Southern Miss. He's going to be a Golden Eagle. At least he's a commit right now. But Niceville, Jacoby Gilliard, I don't know if that was one of his touchdowns, the running back that had 4 TDs for Niceville last night. And there's a play right there for Milton getting into the other end of the field for the Panthers. McCoy, let's see, David Aboyo with the INT. And there goes Gilliard again. He's a freshman.
Yes, he is. Yes,
He's
he
a
is.
freshman? Oh,
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a freshman. He won 3 county championships over there as a young kid. So they've been looking forward. The quarterback's only a sophomore as well.
That was a 74-yard catch for a chunk play to West Virginia commit Robert Oliver, that big play we just saw, that led to another touchdown for Niceville. And they just started to pull away late. It was just too much, as you mentioned.
It was like I said, though. I think early on, you know, with 21-7 is really dominating a football game in my opinion.
It's 2 scores, right?
Yeah.
But you're right.
And certainly Milton, you
They
know,
won
gave
by
it a
4
push towards the
scores.
end of the game.
Right.
But Niceville pretty much had that game under control from the very beginning.
Yeah, it
of
was
the game.
a battle for second place in the district and a playoff spot. And, you know, Milton fought back. Caden Hall, the Florida commit, he threw 2 touchdown passes and grabbed an interception on defense, along with David Aboyo's pick.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of talent. What Coach Douglas has done this year, taking an 0 team from last year. And
Same players.
Yeah, unbelievable. Great.
Yeah.
Just like we were talking to Tommy Bowden last week, that Terry Bowden won with Pat Dye's players, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's good to see what Ronnie can do. He's just a great CEO and just a great football mind.
Yeah.
So
Totally agree with that.
Should be very interesting to see what Mr. Hall does since they've had that coaching change at the University of Florida.
Right.
So I'm anxious to see if Florida starts to lose players or things like that. So that should be very interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll probably talk about that more than once later in this show.
Oh, without question.
Without
yeah.
a question. Our next game, Escambia at Pine Forest. There's no score at halftime. Nothing but goose eggs on the board.
Right.
And both teams have battled through adversity this year. Pine Forest started off slow. You know, I saw them come from behind to beat Washington, and they've kind of went to the Wildcat with Kate. Well, I'm reading these stats. KT Randall opened the scoring after a block punt. and Pine Forest started to pull away. Charson Floyd made huge plays on both sides of the ball, but he had 2 picks.
Yes, he did. He had 2 picks. He was all over the place.
Were you at this one?
Yes, this is the ball game. This is the ball game I had a chance to go to. You're right. It was 0-0 at the half, based on 22 penalties in the first 2 quarters.
22 the first 2 quarters. Now, how many of those were holding penalties?
You had a couple personal fouls in there, and some things.
It got a little hot.
Yeah, it got a little chippy there.
One reason why they still separate in Escambia County, both the teammates and schools are divided, one side of the stadium or another, and separate parking too, and that's for security and safety, and it makes sense.
Well, these 2 teams here have a long history of really getting after each other, and I tell you what, Pine Forest deserves that, and Coach McDowell, those kids over there never gave up. They had high expectations, and they still won the district championship.
So what was the reason for no scoring in the first half of the game? It just defense?
Well, I think 22 penalties and 3 turnovers had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that'll affect it.
Yeah,
sure.
that would affect it. But both teams kind of settled down in the second half and really played some really good football.
We well, on the defensive side, of course, as well. There's an LSU commit that's on the Pine Forest defense.
Yes, Trenton Henderson.
Henderson.
Oh,
yes,
right on.
yes, we had a pleasure of.
Got 3 sacks, right?
Yes,
okay.
three sacks. I had the pleasure of coaching his father at Pensacola High, and Trenton is going to LSU, and so yes, he had a real big game. 3 sacks last night. Was all over the place. Played a little offense as well.
Pine Forest with 3 wins, and they win the district championship.
Yes,
how about
indeed.
that?
Wow.
Yes, indeed. You're in a 3-team district right there. You've got to win to get a top 4 seed, and doesn't get any easier for Pine Forest.
Yeah.
I think that Lake City, Columbia will probably be at they'll probably be the number 5 seed coming from Lake City.
And we'll talk more about that when we get to Ask the Experts. We're going to talk about all of the scenarios for the playoff. Coach Mark knows who's in the next region and who's down south, and because he used to coach down south as well. We'll get to that. Been to a lot of the championships in Orlando in a row.
Yeah.
Pine Forest with 3 wins, they end up winning the district. Congratulations to Coach Kerry McDowell, my apologies. So the last game we have film on is at Catholic, and this was also a district championship, right?
Yeah.
South Walton. Came in, 5-2, 6-2, and Catholic with that 1 loss. Was that to Pace,
Yes.
perhaps?
Yep.
So that was a district title on the line, a thrilling matchup. Thought we had some film on that. We may find it.
We do.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got it.
Oh, here we go. Thank you, guys. And Catholic ended up winning this game 28-13. And you can see couple touchdown passes by Jalen Brown there. May have been Donald Gully for the touchdown there. It's fun to just watch and listen sometimes. And there's one of the scores for the South Walton. They stayed in it. They
7-7
stayed in
at
the
this
game.
point.
Right, there you go. That must have been J.D. Brown and Max Baker with the pass, and J.D.
Right.
Brown on the connection. I know Ethan Crandall.
Crandall.
I interviewed him at the
Transfer.
beginning of the season. Yeah,
Transfer
He
into
had
the
he had a touchdown for Catholic. They're going to be tough. They're going to be
Well,
tough.
they'll come in and probably as a number 2 seed in the region. So
We'll see how that goes. We'll talk about the playoffs again.
Yes.
More highlights while we're on highlights. And I know we have a caller too, so let's get these highlights in.
Okay.
Hold on. And we've got Pace highlights. Pace won 41-21.
Congratulations to Vance Smith. Got him another win. First-year head coach, doing a great job.
Now, they 1 loss or 2 loss?
Just
One
one.
loss.
Okay,
First
1
game
loss.
of the year.
Navarre with 1 win. They were looking for their 2nd win. They won over Gulf Breeze, of course, earlier in the season.
Now, Pace has a lot of seniors on this team, so I'm not sure next year they're going to be rebuilding a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if they rebuild, they reload, that's for sure.
Oh, wow.
They'll probably come back with another 20-plus seniors next year. So those guys have got it going out there.
Coach Smith's in a good spot.
Good spot, very good spot.
On defense, a couple interceptions by Cam Boudreaux and Isaiah Purifoy. That's certainly a football name here in the area of Pensacola. Baxter with a 60-yard touchdown run. You can see Michael Williams was back. Mikhail Williams was back in. There's his rushing TD. And this might be the big chunk play. Pass by, that's Williams, the running back. He gets it down into the red zone, and then he gets to finish it off. We'll see Mikhail Williams just in a second. They'll hand it off to him, and into the end zone he goes for another touchdown. Pace rolled 41-21.
Yeah.
Navarre showed up, and it was at pace.
Yeah.
But 8-1, right? Vance Smith and the Patriots. And next week, of course, is a big showdown. It's not a district game, but Pace Patriots will be playing the Milton Panthers. And that'll be something.
What a heck of a throw there, and the quarterback, running for his life back there, but
Yes.
got off a nice pass.
Oh, that was pretty, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just great touch. Right, good hands as well. He made it look easy, right?
That was Marquez White right there, number 1 for Navarre. He's had a pretty good year.
That's pretty good. That was fun.
All
I
right.
love being able to get these highlights from Coach Dante Shepard at Do Work Sports. Makes this happen. And also want to appreciate all of our sponsors. Remember, our phone number again is 484-1223. That 850 number is 484-1223. We've got a caller on hold. We'll see what he has to offer, and
We'll
this
do
is
that
gonna
next.
Be neat. I can't wait for football to start in a couple hours. This is awesome. Good stuff.
All right, we'll be right back.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Damien's Frozen Lemonade and Damien's Ice Cream. Sandwiches in Pensacola at the corner of Balin and Cervantes at the drop-in.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Who Works Sports.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
All right, welcome back to the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz. Time to take a little dive into the South and our pigskin thoughts. But first, let's take a call. We got Chris on the line, if Cliff can bring that up. Chris is he's there.
Oh,
yeah,
I
he's
got it.
good.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris, how are you?
It was last week.
Good morning, gentlemen. Go Navy, go Navy, beat Army.
Well, there you go.
Go Navy,
Absolutely.
beat Army. That's right. Army has
That's
a bye
right.
this week. I've never been to the Army-Navy game. That would be so cool.
You should go.
It'd be pretty cool. I got to
Yeah,
go,
you
Chris.
should.
You got
They
to
did it in
take me, man.
Boston. Yeah.
That's right. So Navy is undefeated, right? They're still not ranked, dude. How does that chap you, bro?
Well, being 6-0 and being bowl eligible is great in October. I love it. But, we still have a gauntlet ahead. Our tough games, so today and then next week North Texas, but then we got a run of USF, Notre Dame, and Memphis. So that's going to be our real test coming up. So we've, had a couple good games, not that strong of opponents, but I do like being bowl eligible in October.
USF, of course, 5-2, undefeated in the conference, just like you guys are. Of course, your game today at 2:30 on CBS against FAU. Is Navy starting to go more with Blake Horvath, or is it still a three-headed monster?
No, definitely more with Horvath. Out of the and this is a good stat for you. So the Navy's got 22 total rushing touchdowns right now, split between 8 players, and Horvath has 8 of those. So he's still the main guy, but they can score with a lot of different players. So it makes them pretty dangerous.
Of course, Navy with that peculiar-looking offense, if you're not familiar with it, a triple option that relies on the quarterback and slot backs, which are more like old halfbacks, I guess. Is that right? So those are the guys that look like tight ends and they're running the ball, Coach?
Well, they're more kind of like hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more of a hybrid.
And that's what makes us, able to still, I think, compete with a lot of these teams that have bigger athletes. Of course, we don't have a whole bunch of 6'6", 6'7", 300-pound offensive linemen. I don't think they could fit in a plane or on a ship. So we have to use the athleticism, use the speed, use the agility of the players, and that offense allows us to do that.
Hey, FAU's got a passing attack, so how's Navy look on the defensive side?
I mean, a lot better than they have, and that's always been our Achilles heel, obviously. But, what our best defense really is, too, is our offense. Because, if we put together an 8 or 9 minute drive, we keep the other team's offense off the field, discourage them. So that's what I'm really hoping we can do, because USF's offense is pretty good. So as long as we can keep them off the field, that's going to be our best defense.
So y'all play USF and then Notre Dame non-conference, and then Memphis that's been kind of up and down, but always dangerous.
Yeah, we got a little bye week after, in between Memphis and Notre Dame, which is good, take a little break because, like I said, that's going to be a bit of a gauntlet. But, if there's one thing I can always count on with the kids at the academy is that they always rise to the occasion. They're tough kids, no matter how much they're down or who they're playing, they always rise. So, I'm always safe to assume that.
Well, and you match up well with Memphis, so hopefully you do with South Florida and Notre Dame as well. A lot of people think that the 12th pick, the extra pick in the CFP, is going to go to the the AAC, American Athletic Conference. So it's really between you guys and USF and maybe Tulane as well that's undefeated in conference play.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that it should. The AAC has always been like the Power Six, the sixth conference that has. We always typically have 2 or 3 teams that dip their foot in the top 25 every year, and USF obviously is very strong this year. Tulane is very tough as well too. I love their coach. I was maybe hoping he might find his way to Central Florida here soon. Maybe make a run for the Gators. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah,
but I really like their coach.
John Sumrall, he could make that run.
Yeah.
So your games. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris.
No. You go you first, Cliff. You got it, brother.
Oh, well, I was just kind of summarize where there people wanted to keep track of what games they are. We mentioned Navy is 2:30 on CBS. USF and Memphis are playing today. That's at 11 a.m. So right after this show and after your chores are done. Of course, Tulane with a bye. How do y'all travel on the road? I mean, how do you think y'all are going to travel for the rest of the season?
I think they travel well. The midshipmen, are very disciplined. Not in just their daily life. So them traveling, having to change scenery, I think is one of their strengths. And that's what always kind of I think is a big concern with a lot of teams, especially if they're on the road or if they're on the road a lot, or early in the season or a neutral site. But I think with the day-to-day discipline that they have just outside of football, I think that lends them to travel very well and perform even, regardless of where they are.
A lot of cohesion with these military academies. Obviously, they don't take transfers, right? Clemson's taking
That's
3
right,
more
yes.
of Army and Navy and the Air Force combined.
Yes. I think Army, Navy, Air Force, and Dabo Sweeney. I think they're the four teams that don't take transfers, right?
Wow. Exactly.
Something like that. That's hilarious. Hey, Chris, give us a call back later, and we'll talk if you got a high school question for us, okay?
Sounds good. I'll try to give you guys a shout a little bit. Thank
That
you guys so
sounds
much
good.
for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you. Go Navy. Beat Army.
care.
All right,
awesome.
well, good deal. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate the phone call. Let's dive into a little bit of what's going on in the South.
Well, yeah,
we
let
talk
me
about
knock out the Sun Belt real quick if I can. Southern Miss also 5-2, 3-0. They lead the Sun Belt West. Troy and It's South Alabama. South isn't having a great season, really. They're kind of struggling.
They won last week.
Yeah.
They won last week.
Got a nice win.
Troy is 5-2 and 3-0 also.
Troy's looking really good this year.
So Troy's looking good as well.
Yeah.
Just wanted to hit on those.
And they've got a good game tonight. It kicks off at 6 o'clock at home. So
what are
Troy.
some big games you want to talk about?
Well, some of the big games I want to talk about is the stuff that this segment is about. And that's about the South and the teams that people care about, here.
Well, Navy's big presence here for sure. I'm glad we knocked that one out.
Without question. But Alabama travels down to South Carolina. That is a game, if I'm an Alabama fan, I would be a bit concerned. They've been on a roll here lately, playing some really good football. But Shane Beamer needs a win. And he needs one bad. And so I don't know. Is this a trap game for Alabama?
Well, I hope they make it, because if they go down to South Carolina, they're not going to get anywhere. But if they go east on 20, then they got a shot of finding Bryce Williams.
Well, eventually, when you go to North or South Carolina, some way you're going to be going south at some point.
That's right. That's true. You'll be turning all around.
So it should be a good game today.
South Carolina's quarterback, he's still a top 5 Heisman. Lenora Sellers. He's kind of a big freak, right? He's a dual threat quarterback. I think he's 6'3", 6'4", and 240. So big guy.
Yeah.
I like Ty Simpson. I like Alabama. I don't think they're going to have a problem there.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Is it a day game or a night game? Because that kind of makes
it's a 2:30 game this afternoon.
Well, that's to Alabama's advantage as well.
Yeah. But it's at South Carolina, so I don't know if they've got much of a home field advantage, but we shall see. Other game that a night game is LSU, and they're welcoming in Texas A&M. Of course, LSU coming off of a tough loss.
A few tough losses.
Yeah, and Brian Kelly, I'm sure he's not thrilled about it.
He's
sure practice this week was a little difficult.
Cajun heat is what he's starting to feel. Yeah.
So this game is in Baton Rouge.
Death Valley on ABC.
A&M undefeated, rolling in top 10 team. So, but this should be a really
I'd
good.
really like to see that offense of LSU's get going with Nussmeier.
I think Texas A&M is probably 2.5 point favorite in this. So that's interesting there. I think the wise guys' money is probably coming in on the Tigers at home.
That's
at
interesting.
Night.
Yeah.
A&M's got one of the best defenses in the country, right up there with Ohio State and what's the other one? Well, it's Indiana's as well, and Miami at one point.
Yeah.
So right.
Well, I'll tell you what, you better keep your helmet on there if it's a Saturday night game.
I'm telling you, they're going to be ripped and roaring on the river.
Well, that's one of those games. If I'm A&M, I'd be a little nervous going in.
Yes.
Because that's going to be it's a night game. We know it's extremely difficult to play there, especially at night. Brian Kelly's probably got his team pretty fired up because they're mad because they've had some bad luck the last couple of games.
He needs this win bad. I think Mike Elko's team, we'll talk about it more in the next segment when we get back to college football. We're going to take a quick break. The other two ranked matchups is Oklahoma and Ole Miss, as well as Missouri and Vanderbilt. Obviously, both of those, all three of the games between ranked teams in the SEC. No wonder the leader of the conference has one loss in Alabama.
Yeah.
So if you want to participate in the show, the number is 850-484-1223. That's 484-1223. Which game are you looking forward to the most as we go to break?
Louisville game?
Of course. It's
going to be an interesting game. See, coming off that big win down at Miami, are they going to be, are they going to be?
I don't know. Boston College might find a way to rally.
Well, we'll see about
that. If it's a red handkerchief game, you might be in trouble. We'll be right back. This is the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz. Randy Williams, Coach Mark Hobley, I'm Clifford Early. Thanks for joining us with your coffee and beignets, and we'll be right back here on the Blitz. Cool.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Who Works Sports.
Dear moms and dads, we know it's not always been easy, and it's been a lot of hard work. What you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas. Everything I do it for you. Mom, love you all. No, it's true. Everything I do it for
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Damien's Frozen Lemonade and Damien's Ice Cream. Sandwiches in Pensacola at the corner of Balin and Cervantes at the drop-in.
Hey, welcome back to the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz. I'm Randy, that's Clifford. Coach Mark Hobley joins us this morning. And we're going to take this opportunity to kind of break down what's going on with the playoffs and in high school football. And a lot of teams in this area we talked about earlier are doing quite well. So I want to break those down and talk about where everybody is and where they're going and what's going to happen.
All right.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. This thing. We think the Escambia Gators are going to be in this year. Where's the camera? Over there. And this is this is Mark's from 1984. This isn't from Escambia High School, is it?
Yes.
It says at the top, Escambia
Was
High
it
School.
played at Escambia
MacArthur Stadium,
okay, so
December 15th.
So there was a host team for the
Yes.
state title back then.
Yes.
In the 80s. I don't remember the 80s. That's before my time. Well, I was in high school. So tell us about this game and tell us about your relationship with the state title games.
Well, it kind of started back in
it doesn't start with that ring, but it makes it to the ring.
Right.
Okay.
It kind of started back in 1978. 1978, played against Milton. That was Coach Manning's first championship team.
Hurley Manning, who just passed away recently,
and I wanted to kind of tie that into the show.
They had a parade for him, homecoming. He was the honorary, whatever the name is for a parade.
Yes.
But of course, it's posthumous. He wasn't there, but a lot of players came back. I understand.
Yes, that had to be so cool. Well, he had that 1978 team, and that's where Greg Allen played on that team.
Yeah.
That was the first game.
Before he went to Florida State?
Before he became a Heisman Trophy candidate at Florida State. His first game, I played against him in his first game as a running back at Milton High. He was just a sophomore. So Milton wins it in 78 and 79. And then 1980 was that great Carl Madison team out of Cantonment, Tate High School, led by our superintendent, Keith Leonard, and running back.
I think they go by Gonzalez now.
Gonzalez, I'm sorry.
Oh, they have changed. I know what you're talking about.
Well, hold up, Bear
That's
Bryant.
the north side of town.
Bear Bryant said Cantonment, Florida. So
did he?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Rocky Colburn from Cantonment, Florida.
I've heard ESPN say Whitting Field, and I didn't like that either. But anyway, back to your story. So way back in 80.
Yeah, 1980. Yeah, 1980. They had a state championship out there at Escambia High School. That was Miami Columbus and Tate High School. And I had a chance to see that. So from 1978 to 2010, I think I went to 21 of the 33 state championships.
Okay.
Of that year.
At least one or two classification games, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes. And like I said, at that time,
I know you like to see the big boys play.
Yes, yes. And then I guess in 1989 they moved to Daytona, where they had all the classifications would come in, and you could really make it a weekend of it there. And so
of course, now it's in Orlando at the Citrus Bowl.
Well, it used to be there. They moved it to Pit Bull Stadium in Miami.
No way.
Yes.
That
Pit Bull.
is slightly worse of a ride for people from here. I mean, Orlando's, what, 500 miles? It's
Yes.
7
About
hours?
5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I guess it would be 7 hours.
Man.
Right. And so that kind of ties into this. So that kind of ties into watching the Scambia team play.
Yeah.
I think they scored 50 in that state championship game.
1984. And there was a number 22. Did he wear 22 in high
Yes,
school?
he did.
Okay. The same high school of Waymont Jordan, number 2 at USC, who was on the Heisman Trophy watch list until he had a leg injury that required a little. And that's Waymont Jordan at USC right now. Same high school, of course. We're talking about Emmett Smith. Sorry, I digress. What was it like seeing Emmett play and then just kind of move into your history with the playoffs and some of the players and teams that you've come to follow and appreciate?
Well, back then we had there was probably 10,000 people there that night.
At the Emmett game in 1984.
You know, Scambia Stadium is shaped like a bowl.
Yeah.
It probably seats 4,000 on each side. Well, around those burns, you could probably get 2 more thousand up under the scoreboard side, and they
And
probably
then
can get
SRO. How deep? My gosh.
Yes, and they could probably get another 1,500 on the right side of the stadium.
SRO.
And then you're looking at least 2,000 around the track and stuff like that. So they were probably getting 14,000, anywhere from 12 to 14,000 up in there. So if it was a 7:30 game, don't get there at 6:15 thinking you're going to sit down, because it's just not going to happen.
Standing room only.
Standing room only. And I guess like the Florida High Schools Activity Association said, well, instead of having these things spread out, then they start taking it to the University of Florida and places like
Tallahassee,
that.
Orlando, and now
yes.
down in Miami.
Yes, down in Miami. I had a chance to go down and see Pine Forest play down there. So that was special to play at Pro Player Stadium. Those guys down there, they played a great game.
It's Hard Rock now, I think, right?
It's called Hard Rock Pit Bull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, Pit Bull might be FIU or FAU.
We'll know the next segment for sure. We'll get a fact checker on it.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks like the Cracker Jacks got it working back up again, so the phones are working. You want to take a couple calls this morning?
So we see Big Al. Let's check with Scott down there. He's got a high school question.
All right, well, let's do that then. Scott, how are you? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm just wondering what you guys think about the Scambia High School Gators.
You mean for this year, for the playoffs?
For this year? Yeah.
All right.
How far are they going to go?
Thanks, Scott. You know what? They started off 0-3, 0-4. What was it? Something like that?
0-4.
And then won their next 3.
Yes.
And then ran into a buzzsaw, right?
Yes, sir. Scambia will probably be on the road.
This year, okay.
Yeah,
right.
they'll be on the road. Last night, that game was for basically home field advantage, the number 4 seed. Pine Forest picked that up. They'll play at home. Scambia might have to go to St. Augustine or Choctaw.
Well,
So-
St. Augustine is number 1. It's not that bad of a drive. Number 2 is not as bad as Miami. And then that's a beautiful place.
Yes.
So what a great place to go play football.
So is that St. Augustine High School? It's not Nice or...
No, St. Augustine
or
High
Green
School.
Cove, whoever's over there.
The Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets are one of the winningest programs. They have over 500 wins in their program.
Wow.
Okay. Now Pensacola High has over 60.
That's because Pensacola High was really the first one. If you ever
Yes, sir.
read Rick Fountain's book on the history of Pensacola High School football, they preceded the FHSAA's history that was documented. And he actually called them when they were celebrating 100 and said, you know, Pensacola High has 106. And he's like, well, they just kind of, well, we need to sweep that on the rug. We're trying to celebrate
exactly.
the FHSAA.
Yeah, I was there when they celebrated the 100th year, and they honored Carl Madison as well.
Oh, right.
When they did that, but I was also one of the ones to say, hey, we played in 1905.
I heard some interesting and colorful stories about Carl Madison, especially when he got out of
Aren't they
coaching.
all colorful?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was just a great guy and lived a nice long life.
Yes.
So
yes, he did.
Big Al's on the phone. We'll talk to him, and he wants to talk about maybe the Florida Gators and who they're going to pick.
All
Al,
right.
good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Thanks for joining us, bro. Oh, look at that.
Absolutely. I enjoy the show every Saturday. You guys are great.
Rock
I was
on.
wondering, Florida Gators over there in Gainesville, who do you think is going to be the top coaching candidate. I've heard maybe Lane Kiffin, or do you
Not gonna
think
happen.
little Nicky Saban might come out of retirement?
Not gonna happen.
Who do you think's the number one contender? I'll hang up and let you guys talk. Thank you.
Well, I don't know who's the number one contender. I mean, it's all over the board, but here's the thing about it. I can tell you, number one, it's not going to be Lane Kiffin, because Lane's had a conversation with his players, and there's nothing worse in a program than getting, your coach, picked for other jobs. I think Lane's happy at Ole Miss. I don't think he's going anywhere. And Nick Saban did come out yesterday and said he understands, when they throw around the big money, that it excites his wife, but he has zero interest in going back into coaching. He's happy doing what he's doing, so he's not going anywhere either. As far as picks, I mean, you guys jump at it, and what do you who do you think's going to Florida?
I think the next coach of Florida is playing at 2:30 in Vanderbilt. College Game Day is there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nate Bargatze, the comedian, is the guest picker up in Nashville, which is pretty cool. Eli Drinkowitz or Clark Leia, however you say it, Princess Leia, he's the king right now. Clark Leia in Vanderbilt, what he's been doing, or Eli Drinkowitz at Missouri. I think it could be one of those two.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I think Napier was doing a decent job. He was getting the recruits in there. I don't understand why they're blowing it up now to start all over. If your guy would Florida be an interesting job for you? I mean, that's.
It's a bigger pressure cooker. The Swamp is as big a pressure cooker for a head coach as there is in college football. Ask Urban Meyer; he will attest to it for sure. Charlie Weiss might too.
Yes.
And
Dan Mullins.
I don't think, Dan Mullins. I mean, you think about Jim McElwain. I mean, that's been coach after coach after coach. And I think it's going to be tough for them to find, a good coach. I mean, that's why I said Lane's not interested. Lane's happy. His family's happy at Ole Miss. So he's not going anywhere. Why would he? He runs his own show. So why is he going to go and not have that same flexibility in Gainesville?
Exactly.
So I just don't think that's a possibility. But overall, if you look back, I mean, the fans, their biggest complaint was the play calling. Why not turn that over to somebody else if you're not making the right plays? And I think that was his biggest fault at Florida.
You can't succeed wearing all the hats.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, no.
And I understand Billy Napier, first, really big-time college, head coaching job.
Coming from Louisiana,
but you've got to let people do their job. And he called the plays, and that was the biggest. I see it on all the different social media platforms, and that was the fans' biggest complaint was, let somebody else call the plays.
Well, against LSU, the guy threw 5 interceptions. All 5 of them were on 3rd down.
Yeah.
So.
You knew what was coming. You could predict it.
It was 3rd down.
Well, and establishing the run so you can pass when you want to, and that's Florida State's run into that same kind of buzzsaw this year, where you get to a point they know you're passing.
Right.
They're not even going to take a fake.
Yeah.
There was a game last week that kind of, I guess it was, I can't remember which game. I remember listening to Joel Klatt, and his point was, and maybe it was the end of that, was it the end of the Tennessee game? So Tennessee is going down, right? And they're in the red zone, and they have an extra timeout, and they, when they run the ball, they lose their timeout. So now they have to pass. They did a play-action play. It was an easy pick to end the half, and that really wasn't a momentum stealer from Tennessee, because it could have changed the outcome of the game. Alabama, of course, picked up momentum and came back. Speaking of picking up momentum and coming back, that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll be right back. We'll break down whatever callers want us to. Otherwise, we're going to go into the college pick'em and see how bad we're going to be after today. It's been one of those years. Could be a crazy Saturday, October in college football. 484-1223. We'll be right back on the Saturday morning.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Who Works Sports.
My name is Gary Parker. I served as a Cavalry Scout and a military policeman in the United States Army for 20 years. When I was a Cavalry Scout, we had a young lieutenant that came in, great guy, but he moved on, got promoted to lieutenant colonel, went on to Afghanistan, and I was able to keep in contact. And I'd wake up one morning, go on social media, and there's that post you don't want to see. For whatever reason, he took his own life. Nobody knows why he did it, and if there's something that we could have done to prevent it from happening. Safe gun storage can prevent gun suicide because it's that added step to get to your firearm that might just give somebody a moment of reflection on what they're doing. As a veteran, we need to be ambassadors to people that don't have the knowledge that we have. Anytime you're not storing a weapon safely, you're putting yourself and your community at risk. Service never stops.
Saturday Morning Sports Blitz is proudly sponsored by Damien's Frozen Lemonade and Damien's Ice Cream. Sandwiches in Pensacola at the corner of Balin and Cervantes at the drop-in.
Hey, welcome back to the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz. I'm Clifford, Randy, and Hobbs, Coach Mark Hobley. One of the games that isn't in the top 25, but you love Petrino. So Arkansas and Auburn.
That is a difficult game.
It's a huge game for
both
of them.
Well, it is. It's difficult for Bobby Petrino because he's working for a job, and the other one is, I mean, you look at the Auburn situation, and I mean, the fans are now saying, "Hey, you know, when are we going to win?" So it's also it's an opportunity for him to kind of save his job today at Auburn. So that's going to be I think it'll be a tough fought game.
Freeze is going to have to keep it in the fairway.
Absolutely, yeah.
He can't shank it in either direction today because
to me, I feel like both coaches are working for their jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know. So that'll be a tough one.
Number one, we're going to pick them, huh? Let's see what we can do.
I see Arkansas wins today, by the way.
Arkansas is going to win, all right, and we'll get to Louisville. Well, we might as well do Louisville now so we don't miss it if we run out of time.
Well, that's true.
Number 19, Louisville versus Boston College. I believe that's on the river in Louisville.
Yeah.
So
I think Louisville wins by about 3 touchdowns.
Okay, there you go.
I like Louisville in that one.
Miller Moss, quarterback.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And he came from USC, is that correct?
Correct.
I think he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Ohio State has a bye. They're number one.
And 7-0 undefeated.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then number 2, Indiana and UCLA. That's the Fox big game. I think Screaming Gus and Joel Klatt will be at that game, right?
Screaming Gus.
What are your thoughts on that one? UCLA? Are you picking UCLA, Indiana?
Well, I know you're a big Indiana fan because you continue to remind us that we picked against Indiana when they were out in Oregon.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I could say that before you did. I think the Hoosiers are solid. UCLA's coming back. They've won the last 3 games. Nico, yes. I am not leaving. I am a Leva at UCLA. He's like 9 touchdowns to 2 interceptions maybe. And Jerry Neuheisel, that name sounds familiar. I think his maybe a relative that's on a sports desk used to coach a couple different places like Colorado and UW, Washington. So Jerry Neuheisel, they've taken 13, 15 points a game, and now they're up to 33 points a game on this win streak. So it'll be interesting to see if Kurt Cinetti's defense for the Hoosiers is going to stand tall.
Well, Indiana's favored by 26.5. If that tells you anything.
That makes me wonder if I might. That's
a tall
UCLA's
order.
been scoring a lot. I think I'd take I like Indiana win without a doubt.
Yeah.
I think it might be 2 touchdowns, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll take those points there.
All right, let's talk about Texas A&M.
Yeah, we're gonna
again,
fly.
Heading
Go
into
for it.
LSU. That's going to be a great game. LSU's fighting for their life. They've struggled a little bit the last couple of games. A&M 7-0. I mean, your thoughts on that game?
Well, LSU's getting 2.5 here at home. Obviously, this is a night game in Baton Rouge, and Texas A&M usually has one of those lapses every once in a while.
Yeah.
LSU's waiting in the cut. I like LSU straight out.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take LSU as well, Cliff.
Their defense has been playing great since the Notre Dame game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that offense, it's been fallible. And Nussmeier was top 3 Heisman pick before the season started, and they're just really struggling. So they got a little coaching controversy there on the river. But I mean, we were talking about the Cajun Heat. It's a night game at Death Valley.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be fun to watch. See how well Cassius Howell has 8 sacks for Texas A&M. 8. So I mean, if Nussmeier's trying to hang out in the pocket, man, they better figure it out. He's going to have to be protected.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm going to take A&M.
Okay. Alabama at South Carolina, a must-win for Shane Beamer, the head coach at South Carolina. Coach, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, as you're saying, Mr. Beamer needs to get one here, and this could make him last another week if he can beat Bama here.
So you're saying there could be a possible head coaching position available at South Carolina?
It could be, and if I'm not mistaken, South Carolina's probably getting about 12 here at home.
Yeah.
I'd take those points there at home.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
At night,
yes,
Bryce Williams Stadium, I mean, even the 80-year-olds are jumping up and down to Metallica. It's nuts. I'm telling you, there's going to be some energy there.
Is that William Bryce?
Bryce Williams, Bryce? Okay. It's one of the two.
It's one of the two,
Yeah,
yes.
sometimes I have lystexia and get them all mixed up like I did with Miller Moss Miller to start the show. I think Ty Simpson's going to really start to sew up this Heisman Trophy. I think he's my pick so far for sure.
Yeah.
And if Alabama can make it to USC East, then I think Alabama's going to roll. But I think South Carolina will cover.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be an upset today with South Carolina.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Georgia's a bye week. Oregon and Wisconsin. Luke Fickell's got to win a game, or Luke Fickell's there'll be another head coaching position available at Wisconsin. He has not had the same success at Wisconsin that he had in Cincinnati.
Wow. If I'm not mistaken, Oregon's probably favored by 30, 34 points in this. This is ridiculous. Wisconsin is probably going to make a change here soon.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't understand what the dysfunction is up in Madison, Wisconsin. It just doesn't seem like they're rolling with it. I know they had some cultural stuff with Barry Alvarez, head coach, became the athletic director a decade or more ago. Mm-hmm. But it just seemed like it was just a slippery slope, just kind of.
Well, here's the difference, I think. It's a lot easier to win in the AAC than it is to win in the Big in the Big Ten.
Yes,
I mean, it's difficult. You're going against some powerhouse teams week in and week out.
You said AAC. You probably meant ACC.
No.
Okay.
Because Luke Fickell was in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Well, now Cincinnati,
Big
of course,
12,
is in the Big
right.
12.
Well,
but they were in the AAC when he was there, and that's a little easier, win. I guess even though Scott Satterfield's having great success in Cincinnati right now.
That's another name for the Napier spot.
That is exactly right.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Don't be
Scott
surprised.
Satterfield at Cincinnati. Because a lot of players have come out. I mean, a lot of coaches have come out of Cincinnati, not just Luke Fickell, right? I mean, Tommy Tuberville come out of Cincinnati.
Brian Kelly came out of Cincinnati.
That's right.
Who was the other one before? What's his name? Went to Tennessee. Butch.
Butch Vig, the composer that did Nirvana?
No. He went to Tennessee, I think, laid an egg. He won a couple of games, but yeah, there's been a lot of really good head coaches out of Cincinnati. Oh, wow. The problem is they just can't keep there.
Of course, Cincinnati at Baylor, that's 3 o'clock on ESPN2, and Cincinnati's going to have no problem with Baylor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Georgia Tech, another undefeated team. They are playing Syracuse, and that should be a good another. Syracuse has really played some good football this year. So I don't know. Georgia Tech undefeated. I mean, we smell an upset here, or maybe a little. I don't know. Georgia Tech's gonna be hard to beat.
Yes, that quarterback of Georgia Tech's very good.
Haynes King.
Yeah, he's very good. Georgia Tech might be the best team in the ACC.
I think I agree with you.
They might be. Right now, I would take Georgia Tech over Georgia.
Oh, wow. For the end of the Thanksgiving weekend,
yes.
Right now?
Yes. Georgia, back in 23, Georgia Tech had them by 2 touchdowns and let the game get away.
Right.
I don't think it happens this year, though. Georgia Tech looks good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if they get them on 2 touchdowns, Georgia Tech will bury them this year.
I think it's in Atlanta. This says versus Syracuse. That's 11 a.m. on ESPN. I'm going with Georgia Tech to win and cover.
Yes.
Ole Miss, Oklahoma, a couple minutes left. Oh, Ole Miss, Oklahoma. That's
well, I hope
number
that all
8,
of the
number
noise.
13.
Yeah, I hope the noise of Lane Kiffin going to Florida doesn't really, mess up their what they've got going. Of course, that loss last week at Georgia, but I think Ole Miss wins this one.
I like Ole Miss outright.
That's a tough one. They've had some struggles. I don't know if Oklahoma's in it late. They just see if Mateer can get rolling again. Heisman favorite at one point before he broke one of his hands.
Yeah, I'm saying
just
Ole
don't know
Miss.
which hand it is. I'm guessing it's the throwing hand. We might have to skip ahead. Missouri and Vanderbilt. That's number 15. Missouri at Nashville at Vanderbilt against the Commodores. 2:30 on ESPN. I think Vanderbilt's going to hold court, although that Missouri quarterback is something special.
Oh, he looks fantastic. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be one of the more exciting games that happen today. I think Vandy wins it.
I like Vandy as well.
We're going to try to cover some other games, but just ran out of time. Michigan and Michigan State. I don't think number 25 Michigan should have no problem. Bryce Underwood's looked like a superstar, and he's just a true freshman. I had a lot of fun today, Randy. Mark, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Yes, sir.
Great show, Randy. We'll plan to be back next week at 9 a.m. Central.
Yeah.
I want to thank DoWork Sports, Dante Shepard. Y'all check out DoWork Sports. And don't forget, he's also got the Yespies coming up with Steve Nissom, I think, hosting those in December. They're looking for sponsor opportunities for Yespies. You'll see that. His stuff on DoWork Sports on his Facebook page, just loaded with stuff about the prep
high school
kids here in the area. It is a huge win. Thanks again to Amber Ellis at the Hive, as well as Damien's Frozen Lemonade downtown at what's it called? The Drop-In at the corner.
Drop-In, yeah. The Drop-In.
Man, wings, a Reuben, maybe some frozen lemonade for me later today. That sounds great.
Damien.
Thanks
Have
again,
a great
guys.
Saturday, everybody.
Peace.
We'll see you next
time.
week.